Welcome to NC Spin Perspectives, opinions from thought leaders in North Carolina. Today we're talking with Dr. Andy Taylor, who is a professor and head of the Political Science Department at North Carolina State University. North Carolina now has a legislature that's controlled by Republicans, a governor's office controlled by Republicans, a Supreme appellate courts largely controlled by Republicans. So the question is, are we a red state, a blue state, or a purple state?
I still think we're a purple state. What is interesting about this, of course, is that the Republicans are doing so well at the state level. Republican gains since the 1970s, in the early 1970s, which is when Republicans really started winning important elections in North Carolina, have largely come at the federal level. In U.S. House races, in U.S. Senate races, and of course at the presidential level. Now we're seeing the Republicans winning and doing very well at the state level with very large, by historical standards, majorities in both the state House and state
let's
Senate.
bore down into that.
Yeah.
Or have we become such more conservative state than what we used to be? I mean, what would you describe as the political philosophy, if you will, of the majority of people in North Carolina?
Oh, I still think it's sort of center-right. In the context of the South, it's closer to the center. If your context is the 50 states of the United States, you'd put it further to the right of the median. I don't think it's changed tremendously. I do think the two political parties have changed, and of course we've had a significant amount of focus on the Republican Party, and a lot of people saying that the Republican Party today is not, the Republican Party of Jim Holshouser or Jim Martin. It's a different kind of Republican Party. It's more focused. It's more conservative. It's more focused on economic issues, and perhaps taken away from the Democrats as sort of social conservatism.
Well, the big growth in North Carolina has not been in Republicans. It certainly hasn't been in Democrats. We've been losing in Democrats, but it's been unaffiliateds and independents. Why is that?
They have to vote some. They have to vote some way. That is a national trend. That is people perceiving themselves as being less formally affiliated with political parties. But of course, when they go to vote, they are presented with a binary choice of a Republican and a Democrat. And traditionally, at the state level, they were voting Democratic, and for federal elections, they were voting Republican. Interestingly enough, the people of North Carolina are trying a Republican experiment at the moment, with not just the governor's office, which we've done before, but with the General Assembly as well.
There's some people who say that we would not have nearly so many elected Republicans as we have had the Democratic Party in North Carolina not changed their bylaws some years back to allow unaffiliated voters to choose Democratic ballots just like the Republicans had done. You think that's the case?
You mean in the
the primaries? Yes.
Yeah, I think that
because the unaffiliated voter can go to the polls and say, I want a Republican ballot or a Democratic.
Theoretically, they moderate the candidates who are chosen in the general. That, at least in theory, if you think that independent voters are ideological moderates rather than conservatives or liberals. But I don't know about that. I mean, I think what's gone on here is that we have a center-right state that now has a mature, well-organized, sophisticated, well-funded Republican Party, which it didn't have in the past. I think the interesting thing is whether, and this is an open question, it will be empirically tested soon, is whether that now mature, sophisticated, and now very confident Republican Party has gone too far to the right.
Thank you, Andy Taylor. Always good to get your insight.